In this video, I want to give you the step-by-step guide to succeeding on paid ads, even if you don't necessarily have a big budget, and how you can use a small budget to still generate big results and a big return in your business. This is a great way to start 2025 if you aren't spending paid ads, or if something's not working and you need a little bit of a reset. This is a great way to start small, build small wins, and scale your business using paid ads without necessarily breaking the bank. So first things first, I just want to define what is a small budget? Where is really the minimum that you can spend? On Facebook advertising, you don't really have a set limit where they won't stop you if you want to spend 50 cents a day or $1 a day. I think actually the limit is around $1 a day. And they won't stop you depending if you want to spend even more, which is great. Obviously, they want you to spend more. But where would I kind of draw the line? I would say that the bare minimum that you should be spending each day is around $5 a day. If you can't afford $5 a day, keep growing your business, find business elsewhere. But $5 a day is pretty affordable for most people, especially in the business world. I think it's totally doable, and it's almost a must. I think investing $5 a day into paid ads, if you're doing it correctly, how I'll show in this video, is a great way to get started to growing your business. Now from there, I'd say ideally a sweet spot's probably to start around $10 to $20 a day if you can. But like I said, $5 a day is fine. That's kind of where you want to start off with. Now, first things first, let me share with you a really easy hack to kind of get started if you're not sure what ad to start with or how to start using things, and that is to model what works. Go on things like Facebook Ad Library, Ad Spy, which is a great tool that you can use. The Ad Library is actually totally free, where you can see what your competitors are running, what ads they've been using and running for the longest amount of time, as well as which ones have the highest spend. This is a great tool because it can cut your learning curve down big time. One of the biggest issues with running smaller budgets inside of paid ad campaigns is that it takes longer for you to figure out what works and what doesn't. And if someone else has already done that work for you, you can model off of them, make it better, make it more for yourself, and you don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel with trying to test tons of different things. You don't have the budget to test tons of things anyway with such a small budget. Let those other people do it for you. Look at tools like AdSpy, the Facebook Ad Library, to find those winners, leverage them, so you don't have to worry about doing all that testing yourself. Now, once you have some of those models from what's been working great with other people by looking at their ad library or looking at tools like AdSpy, the next step is figuring out, well, what should you actually optimize for? Well, when you get here inside of the Ads Manager, you have all these different options. I would recommend optimizing first and foremost for a conversion. Now, depending on what kind of business you have, like if you're an e-commerce store, don't optimize for, anyone with this low of a budget, do not optimize for awareness, traffic, or anything like that. App promotion, probably not, unless you have an app for some reason. You want to be optimizing for the end result. You don't want to waste any money trying to get awareness or traffic because it won't grow the business. Facebook will just give you views and eyeballs, which looks cool, but you won't necessarily get any conversions from that. What you really want to focus on is conversion. So if you're an e-com store, you're selling a low ticket product, go for sales, go for conversions. Even if you are an e-com store, or if you're selling a product or a low ticket product, something that can be so valuable is having more conversations with people. All conversion happens in conversation, and if you can harness that and talk with more people and figure out what they're looking for, what they're struggling with, running an engagement campaign to get people to DM you, whether that be on Facebook or Instagram, is such an easy way for you to just have more conversations with people, pitch them your product, give them a special discount link for your product. It feels much more personable. And more than likely, if you're spending this low budget, you don't have a lot of budget, you more than likely have a little bit more time on your hands. So what you can do with that time is have more conversations with people and grow your business by just speaking and building more relationship with others. It's a super easy thing to do. We find that we're getting conversations, depending on the industry, anywhere from $15 all the way down to $3 or $4 per conversation. So even if you're running a $5 budget a day, you should get at least around one message a day, if not a few messages every single week, which is going to be a little slower, but if you're seeing that traction and you're getting sales, you can easily increase your budget. If you can't necessarily have conversations with people to sell your product, I'd really recommend next to think about sales if you're driving like an e-com product or a low ticket offer, or leads. If you're a coaching company, if you're an expert in your space or a consultant, just once again, getting more leads and having conversations with those people is going to be the best way to grow your business, even if you have a smaller, tiny Facebook ads budget. Now, there are two more quick things that I want to share before we wrap this up. And first thing is to make sure that you're reducing the amount of variables that you have when you're running these small budget campaigns. It's so easy to run these campaigns, try out tons of different audiences, try out different placements, and want to test different creatives. The idea is, like I said at the beginning, is to take something that you know has worked and use it for yourself and just adjust it and make it more specific to your offer. But when you're launching a lot of these campaigns, I'd highly recommend going with a little bit of a broader budget or a broader audience to start. Let Facebook find those right people for you. Just make sure that in the actual creative itself, you're calling out and you're speaking to the right person as much as you possibly can. It's super easy to want to drop tons of interests and tons of demographics into the audiences, but I'm telling you from experience, we've seen as long as you have a creative that's speaking directly to the target market, you can find those people just by speaking to them correctly instead of trying to force Facebook to find them for you. So that's super important. Give that a shot. Try to go broad at first and see how that helps. And last but not least is to be specific. Be very specific to who you're speaking to, like I mentioned, and niche down. If you have a product that helps a very certain kind of person, or you have a coaching program or a solution, try to speak to that kind of person only. It can be easy to try to meet all the needs of everyone and who you could benefit from your product or service, but ideally, you should be speaking to the top 1% of people that will really, really benefit for your product or service. So that's how to start running ads off of a tiny or a small Facebook ads budget. Test that out, start getting more conversations with people, and you'll find that your business grows quite fast from doing that. Now, if you want more resources and need more help with Facebook ads, I've got a totally free community called the Predictable Profits Mastermind. You can click below, it's in the description somewhere. You can join totally for free. Feel free to ask questions. We're growing every day, and I'd love to help you with your ads, see what problems you're having, help you problem solve them. Just drop your questions in the community, and I'd love to help you. I'll see you in the next video.